This new roof doesn't look right. Are these valleys and flashings done correctly? Trigger warning. All right, roofers, let's go. Okay, no big story to read here. This is our chimney. It looks incredibly rudimentary. This is it'll work for a little bit. Flashing. It's not the worst I've seen, but it's nowhere near the best. But I see something here because I wanted to check and see if I could see flashing in each one of these. When I was looking, I saw that. Is that a rusting nail? It sure looks like a nail head that could be rusting. You want to go look closer. I mean, I could be wrong because of the picture, but again, and then the other thing is, why is that flashing? The flashing should be down here at the bottom of the shingle. The edge should meet up. It's way up above there. So I'm not sure what they were doing there. Again, it's just that sure looks like a nail. It really looks like a nail. And if it is, it's a problem. All right, moving on to your valley. Let me get out of the way because, these tabs are way too small and there's really no rain gusset in them, which means this person I'm just saying he, could be a she, very inclusive here. They look overlapped. They're too small. I mean, something was done here that was just not right. This with 3 tabs is like a girlfriend with 2 left arms. Something ain't right. Okay, here you're showing us the cut side of the valley, and yeah, you're replicating with your leaf blower what's going to happen to your roof. This is why 3 tabs really went by the wayside. They weren't the best things for wind resistance. Okay, there's 3 issues I have. Again, these overlapped short courses on this side of the valley, and then, let me just zoom in. Okay, you don't need a bleeder for 3 tabs. You don't do that. That's not how it's done. It's not the end of the world, and if they were gonna do it, they needed to flip it over so at least the tar side was sticking to the shingles above. But you don't do it. You don't do it with 3 tabs. You don't do it. It's bad. But here's the big concern. Okay, see the separation between these two? They're lifting. Okay. And I can't tell you for sure because I would need to see under the tab above it right here. Oh, but this sure looks to me like this is the end of a full shingle, and this little triangle here is a piece unto itself. That's a problem because that means that there's a nail somewhere right in here, which is way too close to the valley. I mean, the minimum, every manufacturer will tell you their minimum nailing specs from the center line out of a valley is 6 inches. And even that's a little close. And that would be, this is somebody, I don't think this person, well, I shouldn't say I don't think. I know this person had no clue how to put on 3 tabs. They were a very basic shingle, but for all of us guys that did them back in the day, you really had to know what you were doing. They're not like the new architectural shingles where just any dummy can put them on almost. I hate to talk like that, but these were different. You really had to line things up and you had to know what you were doing. All right, back to the chimney. I don't like the fact that they just took this piece of metal and just kind of shoved it in there. They didn't bother to crease it and bend it, but there's something else going on in the background here. This is probably going to work for a little bit, but this is I could probably walk my 6-year-old through putting this in for you and it would look better if I did it over the phone. Just saying. It's wow. Okay. All right. Well, let me just show you the problem I see up here. And this is why they didn't know how to terminate their shingles on a rake. So they just okie lapped everything, which means they just laid the shingle. Listen to me very carefully. Whoever did your roof had no clue what they were doing. None. And if it was you and you did it as a homeowner, it's forgivable. But if somebody charged you money for this, you got a huge problem. Yeah, here's a side view of this. This is so Mickey Mouse. This is, oh yeah. You don't want to see that. There. Okay, yeah, another picture. Okay, so your instinct that something's wrong with your roof is 100% spot on. You have some big problems up there, and I would bet that you have even bigger problems going on. You need to have someone come out who knows what they're looking at. Okay, so when you go find a roofer for this is where I'm gonna talk a little crap on some other roofers here really quick. Do not go with some company that's going to send out a salesman and some inspector for their because they don't have a freaking clue what they're looking at. They wouldn't even know which end of a hammer to hold. You're going to want to find an old guy. You're going to want to find some smaller contractor that's an old guy. And the reason I say an old guy is because really 3 tabs, they just they're getting harder and harder to find. They're so rare to be installed nowadays that most of the young guys that are 35, maybe even close to 40 and younger, haven't done many of these. I mean, there might be one here or there, but and I see a lot of videos on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok of guys that are salesmen for roofing companies, and they come out and go, "Oh, I see these staples in this new roof, and it's only a year old. These roofers put staples in it." Now, you know why you think the roofers did it? He thinks the roofers did it because he doesn't know that it was done by the painters when they put the drop cloths on the new roof and they stapled their drop cloths to it. And that's the point. They don't know because they haven't actually worked in the field. So you need to find an old guy that still works on his roofs or runs his company. So you're going to want to look for a little more traditional small business is my point. Because you need to have someone that really I'm people listening to me that are roofers and are like, it's just 3 tabs. But if a lot of these guys haven't done it, and that's what you end up with. Okay, sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but I have a feeling that the guy who really knows what he's looking at and when he gets on your roof is going to be the bearer of even more bad news. Hopefully you didn't pay this person yet. Please, hopefully you didn't pay this person yet. Oh, gosh, it's bad. It's not good. That being said, I don't think it's going to leak tomorrow, at least from what I can see, because even though they overlapped all that stuff, but you're going to have problems.